around differently.
Idiots.
Obviously, the comms haven't changed from the last time that we've seen them face
I
each
reckon
other 4 weeks
Enzo
ago.
learned that one from you. That's the only
It
thing
could
you
be.
did as an analyst.
Listen, we did our jump and jacks. Well, I made him do it. I obviously didn't participate. A little bit too hard on the knees.
You know, it wasn't worth it. And also, obviously, for you, jumping as high would be a lot more difficult.
All right, well,
center of
that's
gravity.
an early fight by Durka. He's gone down on A main. Zipban with a quick kill. And look at this, FBX, they've spread the blanket. They're slowing this one down, not looking to play too aggro. They might even get a bit of aggression out of FNATIC now after losing that opening duel. And you see they push into B main, but that seems to be about all for now.
Xiao's already going to get them a little bit more information. Of course, a slower style of play is to be expected. Althea caught out aggressing as well, and it's starting to look a little bit rough. Nice shot from Boaster, but, well, now getting spammed through the edge of the smoke. Mystic hitting a couple of his own, but it's now left all onto Enzo. A 1v2, site control already lost, and you can see that Angel is not about to give up anything for free.
Pond, Prowler, and C's all online. Ton of information. Gotta be clinical with it right away. C's going through a little bit too deep. Prowler on its target. It's caught him. And the run through. Okay, kill for Enzo. Is one on the board, and Angel was trying to flank, but he's here a little bit late. Already halfway diffused. He's sneaking his way through. Knows now that that spike is not being diffused. It would have already resulted in a round win for FNATIC, so he's just going to wait. It's tapped again. It's halfway. Angel knows he has to swing. And he's seen that nobody's on it. Enzo knows now where he is. He didn't peek from anywhere else. And now the weapon retrieved. He'll try to catch this headshot. 100 HP on Angel. He needs the headshot. And he tried to stick it all the way. Ambitious. I like the attempt, but FBX got out with a pistol anyways.
I felt like Angel has a clock in his head. Like, he was just making sure that there was no way he could actually manage to get that one through. Definitely a little bit closer than I think it should have been after the strong start, the double opener that came through. Again, it was sort of hinted at on the desk that I feel like in terms of comfort, in terms of the more, I would say the basics of FPX, this is a map where they're sticking to their composition because it's one that works for them. I think you're going to see the spice on maps more so where it hasn't, especially within this series. I think Durka already spotted as well. Again, they've done well already to sort of shut down his aggression in the first round. I think that's something they're going to have to try and bypass, especially on this defense. Is just, okay, where is Durka? What's he's attempting? And how can we stop it from happening?
Right now, they seem to be stopping Durka from doing anything by going B. Nice little approach around. They've got 3 players on site, one in the spawn quickly rotating as well. Some utility in play from Mystic. He's still got a flash. He sat inside that smoke, ready to deploy it. Here it comes out with the frenzy. Free kill, okay, but getting anything else should be difficult. A shorty up close, it can do some serious damage. Already tagging up players, taking kills, and now looking to pursue Enzo, or excuse me, Angel, as Enzo jumps up, throws through that seize, but it doesn't quite catch them. It barely escaped, and now hold on, wait for another player to peek so they can find an advantageous duel, and that they've done.
Already Mystic forced off. They've got to be careful of this flank, though. They're going to peek into it, and, well, it's the last man you want to be facing right now, the form he's been in. Durka waiting on the angle. Even TP's back to almost exactly the same position. Angel with timer ticking. They're almost worried he's walked away. Instead, he's still within this site. The footsteps have been heard. He's actually going to make his move in towards. The thing is, though, Enzo's actually picked up a rifle. This would be enough to potentially wallbang him out. Just going to try and clear the position. And for the second time in this series, we're going to see FPX win the first round of the game and lose the second.
Enzo might lose that first punch, but he won't lose the second. Thrifty found for FNATIC, and, well, that is certainly a deflating concept for FPX to come into that round as
both maps
clear dominant favorite. This was not a force buy. Like, that's where I could sit back and say, hey, you know what? You know, they got surprised, yada yada. They must have lost 200 HP. They must have lost more than 200 HP to a shorty pushing down the lane after they'd already spotted it as well. Like, this was a chaotic round.
Yeah, and that's the infuriating thing is, like, Icebox, win the pistol, lose the second round, lose 4 rounds in a row after it. Ascent, win the pistol, lose the second round, and, well, now you kind of look... It's almost an identical buy. Angel, the only one with anything to play with, trying to do some damage, and the rest of the team on just pistols.
The same approach from them. This slow and steady wins the race might not really come through for them. You know, the reality is FPX waiting for a push in a moment like this. FNATIC would be throwing if they were to go blitzing through. This is a sit back, wait, and play off your contact. Work with your teammates. That's what Boaster's trying to do, but he's taken down right away. Angel's got another. The A side is wide open. The rotation's underway. Xiao's hearing them, tagging one of the players up, and all of a sudden, Tom, they are the favorites in this round. They've got 3 players with rifles. Well, at least they should soon. And a spike plant in a 5v3.
Yeah, they've only managed to retrieve one of them thus far. Timing not going to be great, but Enzo forced to shoot the haunt. They have got in with a relative amount of time. Nade's going to be thrown forward. Darker has somehow found 2 in a matter of seconds. And while Angel's still the only one now holding onto a rifle. Just trying to take back the extra little bit of space. The wraparound could be perfect, though, as Xiao is going to drop both remainders. Big round coming out of FPX. This time, there won't be a streak from FNATIC. And if anything, well, it's kind of ended up better for them economically, but there is absolutely no way that was intended.
Another interesting round. I mean, maybe it was the big brain plays to break
lose
the
around
economy.
Intentionally.
Yeah. That's it. No one plays
right,
that
guys,
game
we're gonna
anymore.
throw, and then
we'll win after. Easy.
We'll win with less.
You gotta from the shadows for Angel in this round.
Woo!
Wouldn't mind just chucking it out. A little bit of info if things get a little bit awkward. You've got your setup from FNATIC. Like, there's nothing strange here necessarily. They're A holding it solo. They're not pushing anywhere crazy. They're not trying to do anything with utility comps. I think they've got a seasoned reaction inside of B main on contact, but well, another very patient early round from FPX.
Well, it has to be. When you've got that tour de force on Durka, you just can't go taking too many risks, because we've already seen this man can basically take over a round on his own, and you don't really want to give him that same sort of chance. They are building into the B take, and that's the thing. The patience from them has actually worked out wonderfully, because there was a straight up B stack in the early stages of this round. FNATIC gamble on a rotation, and wow, they've got it completely wrong.
That one's got to hurt. Running right back to the other side of the map, and in a round like this, if they gamble the B site, you got your shorty up close. Oh, things could be nasty. And we obviously talked about the C's nade setup earlier. Here it is coming into fruition, and that's not going to get zip banned. He has barely managed to evade that. He was being pulled to the middle, but those robotic legs, they're strong enough to carry him through.
It's going to be tough to get back in here. Paranoia still. Boasted needs to close the distance, and he's not going to be able to. They are being slaughtered, and these backline plays from Xiao and Ardis are going to completely shut things down. A third round on the board for FPX, and now in a very good position at the start of this half, and while this is where we expect to see more of a response.
Now you can imagine moving into this round, if they're able to get it done with pistols, this one can be very scary indeed. I'm amazed that he survived that. Went down to like 20 HP. Power-up round coming in. Rifles all around for both of these teams. But I'm looking towards the ultimates, Tom. See how those kills have distributed. And it seems like the powerful ultimates, well, they're not really coming online for anyone just yet. With Tour de Force already used by Durka, I guess Ardis has a little bit of an edge, but I doubt we'll see that ult used this round.
Again, after fighting for initial control, they've managed to bait out some of that early utility. I think that's going to be really important facing off against this FNATIC squad, is just basically don't allow them to get away with anywhere near as much. The thing is, though, it's a lot easier said than done. Durka just goes peeking into mid. It doesn't matter if he's got the Tour de Force or, in this case, just a rifle, just as deadly. They've lost that early man. Now, Rez is one of the only ults that actually isn't online for FPX at the moment, so no chance to bring Angel back just yet. But they are slowly setting up into this A site, and if they can isolate Mystic, well, they got a pretty good chance.
Face your fear!
Mystic has the nade. That's going to slow them down a lot. Being absolutely bombarded by utility, stuck in the corner. I don't even know that they've spotted him. They have now, but Mystic still holding on, still doing well. Right-click flash, but he's caught on the way back out. FBX not going to keep an advantage here, but at least getting it nice and even in the 3v3. Have they allowed Boaster to walk around? 2 quick kills on the site. FBX are blindsided, and it's Durka to finish things off. The round goes to FNATIC. It was neck and neck for so long, but Boaster making a big play around his own smoke. I can't help but feel like that's an oversight.
What the thing is, okay, so firstly, you got to give credit to Mystic for just his utility usage of slowing them down, allowing rotations. But what Boaster did there was just brilliant on 2 fronts. He puts the smoke down, and the fact is he sees or hears, more importantly, the haunt coming, goes outside the smoke where they've just checked if he's in there. So now they have no idea, because obviously he could have TP'd to the back of site. Maybe they didn't hear it. So by avoiding that haunt, he's used that smoke for a completely different purpose and then gets space on a spot that they never expected him to be. That's brilliant.
I don't think he could have necessarily planned for the smoke to block it, but well, he certainly made use of it whenever it came down, and obviously giving you that little bit of extra cover. That was the whole idea behind it in the first place. A big play by Boaster and FBX. They would have been kicking themselves if they were straight to an eco, but luckily, because of the weird start to this game, they've got plenty of cash, and they've got ultimates. And that Tour de Force already in play for Artis, and we're not going to see anything from it just yet.
Oh, this could get interesting. Another IGL versus IGL, and Boaster's going to win this one. Durka is still pushing. Kill as free as can be. Maybe a bit of an oversight. And actually, Saigetsu, I think, just got res off that. So he can actually bring back one of his teammates. Of course, he's with the spike, so he's got to be a little bit careful and is waiting for his teammates to actually rotate in before he does anything too crazy. And speaking of crazy, Artis, he's looking to brawl.
Kill my allies.
Angel's back into the fight. This isn't a round that FBX want to let go of just yet. They're looking to commit that little bit extra to give them a better chance. Artis has been so patient, and there's his reward at long last. Alpha Air makes a step. Enzo trapped on the site. He's being pushed on from every which direction. 10 seconds or thereabouts left. Reposition. Teleports it back. Now he's got a little bit of support from Boaster. Good spray by Enzo, but he's caught falling down. There were still 2 players to deal with anyways. FPX, they've done enough to get decently confident in FPX's ability.
How much has Enzo paid you? Come on. That was the most blatant caster curse I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely no way they lose to pistols.
There's no way they could ever lose to the pistols. If you had a mustache, you would be twiddling it.
They probably won't lose a single player this round on FPX. I think it's as clean as can be. Won't need to use that ulti. Could be a 13-2.
Bribery. Absolute bribery. Nonetheless, we'll see if they can make anything of it. The power of Mitchman's curse and FNATIC's pistols sounds like a deadly combo, to say the least. Although Durka already being tagged up, and a much faster attempt in onto towards the site. The thing is, though, Mystic is just so annoying. He's throwing down these fragments every time. It allows Boaster to get into position, has a classic to back it up, which actually does some extra damage. Pistol shots from Mystic, not quite as clean. And that will give them the afterplant on the site. Doesn't seem like there's a trap either for Durka to walk into, so he's going to have a pretty decent flank here, although the fact that they're playing all the way within the site, I think it's being watched by Zipan.
Yeah, when you put that B lurk trap, you have to be able to, identify our behind is open in this round. We need to lock it down, and we've already seen the willingness to push mid. Oh, well, that reveal. I know that Enzo's up top. The Spectre's spraying. Good kill from Alpha Air. Okay, we'll see if maybe that flank from Durka can come through for some value. Showstopper in play. It's landing down below, but it's not getting a kill. Damage done was good. Enzo left in a tough position. He's got the 3rd kill, but time.
No.
I think it's way too far gone.
Yeah, not going to happen for them, but an incredible round nonetheless. They managed to kill off every single member of FPX. Now, they do still have that backup bank from, as you said, the weird start to the game. They managed to make so much finances off that in most cases, we'd be sitting there raving about the fact that FNATIC have done that much damage. A round win hint could set them back, but it's not really the case. They're going to be able to buy in the next round anyway, and they can comfortably buy into this one. Fact is, though, it has meant that they've been able to earn up Nightfall, a decent ultimate for Enzo to play within the retake, and Durka's not too far off the tour de force, especially going into the next round. I feel like it's almost a likely ult to have online. Nonetheless, 5-2, FPX again, their attack side of this map is something to really marvel at. They've done fantastically well so far, and now, well, little pop flash, double peek, Durka, he might just need to get out of here.
They ain't gonna be caught back by that nade, but they're used to it at this point. Rotations haven't come through so much. That was a little bit of an awkward little I don't want to call it a fight. You know what it was? Oh, he's gone back into short and they know fully about it. The door closed. This is the whole team's just looking to kill Artis, and he gets a kill and gets out.
We're seeing another Nightfall thrown in, leaving it a little bit more awkward. Of course, no sound for the players in position. Prowler stuck on the wall. The flashbang from Mystic is so perfect. In fact, he's walked in and found 2 kills. Zipan, he's been quiet so far. They know exactly where he is. Alpha, yeah, it's just going to ruin him. Blast pack combination, and well, it is going to be a 3rd round on the board. Big stuff from Mystic there.
Oh, you can see every step of the way. He's like stood at the back of the side thinking, okay, right, I gotta kill that planter. Oh, there's a nade there. Well, I guess I'll run forward. Blast pack. Oh, I'm back on the nade. Oh no. And he does. That was horrendous. There's no pathing, but when there's that many players against you, it's what you expect. Lights out performance from Enzo so far as well. Top in the charts. I mean, he has been one of the strongest players when it comes to assists. We talked about that before. One of the probably best fades we've got out there, but here delivering on an individual level as well, coming back into retakes with Spectres and stuff like that. The value's been there.
Him and Shao are probably my top 2. I think it was Destrian has also been fantastic, but they're the players I really look towards on this agent. And I think the fact that we've got them facing off against each other on it is a really exciting prospect.
Yeah, for sure. I think Enzo's second, I think, in assists. Duno is actually the one leading. And I remember you said that a while back on Split Decision. I was like, wow, that was a good guess. I wouldn't have said that off feeling, but yeah, he's been
I think
solid.
a lot of his comes down to KO play, though.
It does.
Sova, not so much the fade.
Yeah, it's cheating. I'll say Enzo, you know, he's the top player for KAST, Tom. It's cast of 81%.
Find you.
Wow.
It helps if you win all your games.
Yeah, it does. And if you use an irrelevant stat. Those 2 things help. But yeah, no, I think so far this FNATIC team as well, you know, like I'm giving a lot of praise to Enzo for this thing, but Alphayer, Durka, top 2 players on ACS.
Yeah.
You want to know what their ACS is? 274.8.
Like, yeah.
That's what both of their ACS is. They have the same ACS, down to the decimal point.
Nice. Well, either way, 30 seconds left. They're going to have to try and make their move into this site with very little information. Already you're seeing the same execute again, but there's just denial on that utility. Not really any way in with the C's. Artis has managed to catch the rotation, but they've got so much left to do in this site. Another entry, though. In fact, Saigetsu's quickly found 2. It's left onto Enzo. All he has to do is try and slow them down, try and deny them, and he's doing a fantastic job of it. The plant is everything here for FPX, and they're going to manage to achieve it. Mystic just a little bit late to the party. He's even been caught in the C's as well. I don't know if they actually will have spotted it, though.
And they know that they've got him. They're hearing this util. Good flash to bait the peak. That's so smart, but he has no idea where the other player is. Does he check the right on the way around? The step made yet again. Zipan, not sure what's going on. He's just waiting to see this player emerge around the corner, and he's just not coming. Back side clear, right side clear. Spam is good. Damage done, and he'll finish him off. Mystic, patient play, and he'll get the win for his troubles.
Last couple of rounds, he's been an absolute monster. And I feel like a lot of the time, his utility usage, or even just his decision-making, is so spot on. Like, you could see it almost there with, like, the steps back and forward. The man is just working out the only places that he could be left. Just calculating it, waiting for the knife to come back online. But then, more importantly, he's almost just sat there going, okay, well, I've baited out the steps from behind. At this point, someone would have rotated in. There's only one spot left this man can be.
That's going to get the response out of somebody. If anyone's blinded there, someone's going to peek and see what's going on. Get a little curious. Gets the kill. Immediately, like, waits, puts the knife out. Thinks, okay, he's not here. He's not here. He's not coming behind me yet. Spam the wall. Still nothing. Okay, I'll kill him. Really, really smart. I love watching those players come down.
this buy from FPX, it's sort of like just spreading the money a little bit. They finally ran out of cash. You've got Durka invested into the Tour de Force, but there's still a lot that they can play with here. Like, Ultimate's not far away, and still having 3 rifles available to you, it's something that FNATIC has to be a little bit careful of. Enzo in a slightly more aggressive position this time, just trying to clear out some of that info in towards mid, and he will garner just that.
The doors being closed now. Looks like FNATIC giving up mid completely. Obviously, they have to. But for a moment, I thought they were moving over towards the spawn for the rotation. Instead, they're going to turtle in here on 2-2s after losing. Boaster in towards the spawn. No smokes to play with. No paranoia. They have spotted one player outside B. That's causing the rotations. Okay, I wasn't sure they were going to read into that because FPX have played very slow before, but they are now making that play. They're rotating. They've got a flank on as well. It's going to be huge. Durka, they don't seem to have a clue that he can be here.
Yeah, he's already killed Saigetsu in the back. And again, Enzo surviving at the back of sight. He's been an absolute monster every single time. They just can't clear him. He just survives. That's it. Most of the time, that's all he needs to do. But the man is also top fragging the entirety of the server. So I guess that's a little bit of a cherry on top.
What a beautiful man. What a beautiful, beautiful man this guy is. 13-5, 5 assists. He's leading the board for assists on the server. And on kills. And got the lowest stats. Not bad.
Oh, you're the biggest fanboy in the universe.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
5-5.
Well.
So even with all of that,
God.
FNATIC aren't winning yet. But we do say that FPX, a lot of the time, we're going to see the real value from them coming out on
Boaster.
that attacking side.
Boaster's in the spawn, jump peeking mid, and then one-way smoking B main. And then obviously has contact smoke for A as well. It's really interesting that they're sort of like removing him. He's the commander, literally like sat in the tower. I will smoke A now. We will move our forces here. It's a good idea. But again, the downside of this is they're losing mid control pretty much every round. And all that it's taken this round is one smoke on top mid, and they've closed the door and said to FPX, hey, we're not here. We're not holding it.
The thing is, though, because they haven't been able to clear the back of B site, and getting into A basically involves having to kill Durka without him escaping, they don't need mid control because they've given it up and almost just said, okay, well, if you can take the site from us, go for it. And so far, FPX haven't really been able to do that. In fact, it was the more aggressive fights that they were taking that ended up losing them rounds. Mystic, though, again, his flashes on point. They know where he is, but he's just going to land the instant headshot once again. Finally cleared out of position, but now the paranoia's there. And even though they managed to get the res, it isn't going to last for long. Boaster now in position, and they're just being slaughtered.
You're seeing the difficulty of this attack side for FPX now. It just head first into a meat grinder in a lot of these engagements. And even after a res used up here, you can see there's practically no fight left in this round for FPX. They've got 10 seconds left. That Spike can't even make it near a site in that kind of time frame. Technically, he could have sprinted to A, but there were 4 players between him and that site. So, you know, I was kind of counting that one out as a possibility. And as you can see, wasn't too likely. Got over to BI. 6-5. Close things out there. And, well, been a good half from FPX. But it feels like we have good gameplay all round from FPX. But these last couple rounds, the heroes have stepped up. And especially Enzo and Mystic are just on fire right now. And that's scary when I consider it's Enzo and Mystic. Durka, he can go absolutely nuclear, but right now they seem to be often challenging the other side of the map.
That's the thing. It's like they're winning and Alpha is 4-9. Like that's not a bad way to sort of put yourself into the lead. And it has been a streak of rounds as well. Like things have started to fall a little bit flat for FPX. As said, they've been given a lot of map control, but it's almost like FNATIC are funneling them into the players that are performing. And that's the thing. If you got players performing, keep funneling them in that direction. Again, they're going to have this fast-paced push. The paranoia is solid, but it's only going to be a trade. Saigetsu did manage to open. In fact, he's found another. Maybe he's starting to step up a little here.
Oh, another kill for Saigetsu. That's what they needed at long last. It might be the final round, but they'll at least get it. They'll clock it up with a thrifty. 6-6, tying up the scoreline.
So you were looking at a 5-2 scoreline and then just basically streaking it back from then onwards. So Fnatic can be happy. It's just whether or not they can actually take this over the line, because although I think Fracture definitely favors them, you know FPX are going to do something different. And the last time, we also haven't really caveated this, but last time was also one of their kind of, I'm not going to say trolly, but it is the word I want to use, Yoru comps.
I guess the only thing that we can look at is, like, even going back further than that last FPX game, we don't know, like, how to draw any conclusions about Fnatic. It's a different roster, right? When we look back at Masters, even with Enzo there, the situation of how he came on and stuff, it's a completely different game that they're playing. But they looked good against ASCENT, but we've just seen so few attack rounds from them.
Oh, that's a big knife. It just caught 4 players of the Fnatic side. So much information, and because of that, Artist actually just swings. He's like, well, if there's 4 players there, what's the chance that anybody else is going to be waiting for me? How has Mystic got 2 kills? He was completely isolated from the rest of his team. He was stuck. And then the nade found another. This round was looking basically done with them being locked into what was a stacked up site. And oh, it's a little bit shaky. Back into the 1 versus 1. It's on to Artis to give them that advantage going forward, or if Boaster can take this one home.
Well, the plant is going to come through, but Boaster has to be so cautious. He has no idea where Artis is, trying to catch an angle around the side. I like the sneak into the smoke, but he's watching it even still. Artis gets it done. 19 HP left.
I need to see what, like, do we have Mystic's POV there? Because literally a wall went up, and he somehow manages to get 2 kills while on the other side of it on his own.
One was random.
Like, it was,
I'm 100% certain it was a shot through the smoke that killed the player at the bottom of the steps in Garden. Okay.
A wall up.
Oh, the smoke wasn't
kills the
there
close
yet.
player,
Okay.
and then just snaps back to the second. That second shot must have been so clean.
A good thing Zipan was hiding up there the whole time as well, to quickly trade that out with his 2 little taps, and he did very well to grab this as well.
1 enemy remaining.
I do think that round right there, you know, it was something that if Fnatic find, they can maybe run away with the confidence, but now for FPX, foot in the door, they've got to be careful. We've seen them lose these rounds before, but they're on the attack now, on the Fnatic side, and making use of those pistols attack side. It's not always as easy when your opponents can pick and choose what fights they take.
Now, bear in mind, similarly to the last one, this is very heavy on rifles for FPX. So the only player that can really afford to go down is Saigetsu, maybe Shao a push, and then everyone else needs to be surviving just to make sure they keep these rifles forward. They want to almost play an advanced bonus round, as we've seen from them before. Now, the detriment we've had with this in the past is it can hit them really hard if they lose a lot of guns here.
Yeah, it's the thing that opens the door for this to be all about damage for that attack side. But acquiring that will be difficult. No Durka to play with. Headhunter out of the game. Got a Sheriff, a Ghost, a couple of pistols. Nade already used up as well. So your C's nade not going to be a problem in this round.
I like that. Because Artis was tagged up, they've actually switched the rifle over to Saigetsu. A lot less of a risk of it being lost into enemy hands. The thing for Fnatic now, time. They're just running out of it. They're almost trying to... Seemingly, I thought they were selling a fake just because they were so low on the clock, but no, it seems like they are going to go running back in towards this A site, but well, already one of them's going to be picked off by the fragment. They basically have to just go running and gunning into this one, and while Zipan, he's definitely come online. Now, bear in mind, I think he's had 7 kills in the last 2 rounds. Can we get the scoreboard up? Yeah, he's on 10. I think that kind of says a lot.
Yeah, it's been a very good couple of rounds for him. Definitely needed, and if it carries on, he's able to keep locking down this map the way that he is. I feel like we might have a lot of B hits coming our way.
That's the thing. If they get to Fracture, even though like we've seen them sort of move their comps around a little bit, to basically involve a slightly more aggressive stance than when they play Fnatic, like they had the Chamber in for Artis, I would still love to see Zipan just go head to head with Althea at the Raze. I think that would be the greatest way to end the series possible, but we'll have to see if we even get there.
Yeah, still a long road at FPX. They've got the control. Now they've got their defensive side to play with, as you said. Historically, maybe that wouldn't have been a huge bonus to them, but I think looking at this situation, be happy enough to sit back continue clocking these rounds on up defensive side. They're giving up mid. Seen FNATIC take the control. And looks like a B split, but that's exactly what FPX are hoping for. They've set themselves up to catch this exact play.
An early trade. Artist's actually going to retreat very far away. He's basically just left Saigetsu to try and fight this alone. Bear in mind, Artist was one of the players that actually had a rifle in this. Out of the, well, 3 of the players. Saigetsu only has an SMG. If I'm going to be dropped, the null command not going to play much of a part here. And in fact, Durka re-aggresses and drops another player. Saigetsu now left all on his own. A good start, but they don't need to go this way anymore.
Enzo holds it. The rest rotate to plant on the A site. Nicely closed out. 8-7. Does FPX lose at that round? It's expected. It's the one that they should be dropping. Now they come through with rifles. Draw the line in the sand and make a stop to this. This is going to be a swing round. Like, the economy of both teams on the line. FNATIC not in such a poor spot, obviously. They've got a little bit of credits to back them up. But more than likely, whoever takes this one, they steam into the lead. Now look at Artist 1 away from his tour de force coming into this one. But we've got a showstopper on the FNATIC side. We're more likely to see that one come into play.
Last second change for Xiao. He's picked up a weapon you're going to enjoy. Artist does get caught out, so he's going to be forced out of position. Oh, they actually combine it! Extra utility to just catch out one. It is only going to be the trade as Enzo does manage to find another. But quickly, the FNATIC forces diminish as FPX manage to put themselves into the lead. Mystic, another solid flash. The spray, not amazing, but the flash good enough that he gets the job done anyway.
And the spray gets there in the end, but look at these players. They're spread out. They've got so many angles to deal with, and it's about the agents they're playing. They don't have a smoke. Ooh. They do have an ult now coming out of Mystic. He needs to get back to his teammate, though, and that's trouble!
Oh my
Apparently
god!
Not! Hell, just get Mystic into spawn and let him run wild. There's a 4K for him to close out this round. And FPX are left destitute. They've got no money to work with after that. What a disaster.
Yeah, I think that was, what, a 2 versus 4 where basically Mystic just killed everyone. Like, that's ridiculous. And especially from this position, to get so much value from this spot is incredibly difficult. Like, Xiao didn't really stand a chance, but from then onwards, these battles should have been a lot easier for them to take, but his shots are just so instant. And I think the problem there is that they actually opt to fight that one individually. Almost no team play after the initial kills that they got. And maybe a little bit of an oversight for FPX.
The tag right away. What are FPX doing? 2 players opposed. They're really trying to fight this angle. With the pistols, I almost wouldn't expect this level of aggression out of them. For them to be standing, holding the corner, waiting for that duel to come through. And it's not netted them anything. And FNATIC are being patient. I like that they've got Durka tucked in this spot. It's nasty. The ability to TP right back to main. And you can make these opportunistic plays, but with a minute left on the clock, you know, you're starting to run dry on time, and you got to start focusing up picking a site. Unfortunately for FNATIC, the site that they've chosen does have 3 defenders to it. They are only armed with pistols, but that doesn't make it all that much easier. Tour de force backside?
Tour de force as well, yeah.
Is there?
Oh, yeah, I guess it's gone now. But at the same time, it's still not going to be easy to clear these remaining 2. Or maybe it is. Absolutely nothing. I thought there would at least be a kill. They've walked into a 3-man stack, and, well, FNATIC made that look very, very easy.
Yeah, I think that's really well. They're going to hear that as soon as the barriers go up, and although Boaster's starting to head towards mid at the very beginning, I think that's going to stop anybody from taking those more ranged peaks. And that smoke even keeps him back from holding mid.
Yeah, they still have a little bit in terms of information available. Like, you got Zipham playing close. He's kept his 0 point for if they think that maybe there's some pressure coming in. And he also has his pop flashes as well. So it's not too much of a worry just yet. Now, they are starting to wrap back around. Now, what Saigetsu's been doing whenever he's on the A site, any form of contact, that wall is going to go up. Now, it's something that should be relatively easy for them to break. But you can just see the patience from him here. They're making sure that he basically wastes as much time as humanly possible.
They're stepping. Those steps are heard, the wall is out, and it's going to be deployed on the back of it. Tour de force on short. Oh, what a tag. I mean, that tour de force can be smoked off on the way through. Really, the danger man here is Angel. Unless Artist has some absolutely crazy strats up his sleeve, he's going to go running into sight. I think it's Angel that's the problem, and he's been dealt with right away.
Still, Saigetsu has managed to find a frag back. Althea seemingly not wanting to give up the space, and they're taking an awful lot of damage, even just getting into their afterplants. No heals available, of course, so it's just going to be low HP for the remaining players on FNATIC here, and you can see they're trying to set up ready for this retake, but ultimately, no one's really giving them an edge.
Well, Artist is finally able to look at the site. He was holding the flank from short for so long, and now the tour de force comes through, but has to fight through a smoke. Going to the Vandal certainly helps him out at the start, and into the 1v1 to try and close this out. Knife in play for Mystic. He can cancel the tour de force. Artist is picking them off one by one. Things are getting spooky because now he's got an angle, and with the tour de force to play with, he can be quick on the shots. He's landed it. How's the time? I think he's got enough.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty close, but no, in the end, not close enough. Well played by Artist in those clutch situations, and well, maybe he didn't necessarily have the impact in the manner we expected. But if he's going to clutch out rounds like that, I'm sure FPX are going to be happy.
Well, they're certainly not going to be upset. That is one that they should have had well and truly under wraps. And the plant position certainly didn't help them. It almost forces them into these much more aggressive positions. Look at those fights they have to go and take. So I think that's definitely one factor where they've set themselves up for failure. But even still, the ability of Artist to come out with every single kill like that from Mystic, not to take both frags, not to throw the knife and hide, but to continue trying to take that duel and lose it out after the success rate we saw from him in duels earlier. This is a lifeline for FPX. They're holding on to hope, making it through to Masters at 9-9. And the defensive side buff is theirs. Also playing against, a couple weaknesses here, but the tour de force makes up for that Spectre in Dirk's hands.
Yeah, the guns on the other side also aren't great. Like, you have to bear in mind how close that round was and how shaky the economy has been all the way through. Boaster already going to get pinged up. They know he's there, but ultimately it's whether or not they can do anything about it. Angel's still trying to cause them issues from behind as they look to split through the market. And now Boaster will make his move. He's found the entry as well.
Teleport across. Alpha Air is going to be dropped now. They need to deal with Zipan, and they've done just that. Tour de force still in play, and it's in main. Artist spotted him go there, though, and the operator's trained in. It was just moments ago. Mystic up close hasn't been spotted. He could do some fantastic work for him. That's the shot through the smoke, just as it blooms. He saw his feet seconds before, and, well, that'll lead to double digits for FNATIC. Quick as you like. That retake falls apart.
I don't know if Mystic actually managed to retrieve a gun there. I think he was going for the operator at the end, but ultimately they have the finances that it's not too much of an issue. And honestly, Mystic has impressed me so much throughout this series. Like, we've seen him switch roles many a time within this roster, but this KO has to be one of my favorites.
Eco on the back of it, man. When you're neck and neck like that and these rounds come so close, to be forced down to an eco at 10-9, it's gotta hurt. That's one way to transfer the pain to your opponents, is taking a quick kill. Dirk is stepping forward, though. Individual duels against pistols, they have their risks, Tom. Let's see if there's going to be a reward this time. Did he just take his teleport back? Yes, he's got no escape. This man is running up forward without the ability to fall back, and, well, he is being punished for it. Xiao in with one, almost with two. This is getting a little bit closer than it should be, Tom, already. That's a great flash and a great follow-up. One-to-one trades, not at all how you want this to be going if you're FNATIC.
Careful.
It seems like Angel cancelled his TP. They might expect both players to be in here now. I think that was the bait he was going for, that they already know Saigetsu's position, and I think Angel might have got this spot on, almost baiting them into a rotation.
They haven't.
It seems, though, that they are actually rotating back in towards his direction. Angel is just patiently waiting, and he is in the perfect spot. It's just whether or not the timing actually works out for him. And instead, it seems like Boaster might actually just walk straight past. Instead, they're going ring around the rosy. He might instead get the kill onto Mystic, who's just there for free. An easy one on the first, and now he's heard the spike plant. Doesn't need to over-aggressive, but it seems like Angel might just want to end this on his own.
Well, they've got a res now, Zipan back online, and with him, he brings the knife. That's information, and that's a lack of any utility for Boaster. He couldn't paranoia even if he had it, if they catch him, and they haven't. The site now clear, they know that. They might think he's towards main. Oh, they've spotted him, I think. Yes, they definitely have. Perfect timing on the way through the smoke, and FPX will get a 10th. Top, there is no such thing as an easy round, is there?
Thrifty.
No, I think the play from Angel is just brilliant, though.
Maybe keep that uncertainty on FPX's side. If Angel had completed the teleport, do they know I'm here? Did they miss it in the chaos and so on?
Oh. Well, this time Angel's cheekiness is not going to get quite as much as he would have wanted. This is a much faster paced play off the back of that null command. I feel like we're getting one of these almost every couple of rounds. Angel, though, has managed to find two. Xiao's aggression around the edge of the wall is going to shut down another, but somehow, again, it just seems to be these swing rounds. A 2 versus 3. It looked impossible just seconds ago, but FNATIC have a chance.
Oh, they really do. Artist, though, still lurking around here with the operator.
Standing.
And it's Angel
Spike
up
down B.
with a 3rd kill in the round through middle. That's left Enzo to clutch it, and well, that's not looking all too likely. The operator of Artist shuts it down, and the lead is now back in FPX's hands. Copenhagen not out of sight just yet. They were probably 1 or 2 kills at a certain point away from at least giving FNATIC an OT, and instead, well, they can bring this all the way to Fracture. It's possible.
Yeah, of course, no real problems here for FNATIC. Still going to be able to buy, okay, some shields are missing, but other than that, they're still going to have an ult or 2 online, and the same can be said for the other side. Looks like they might end up walking straight into Artist early, and well, they've got the info that he's there. Dark are actually looking to challenge this, facing straight into the operator, and he's going to win. A first blood onto one of the most terrifying forces on the other side. A huge opening kill.
Oh, yes, a big frag to take. And how do FPX fill that gap now? Because they have no trap around mid, nobody to hold B main. They need to spread their forces a little bit more thinly, or start to focus them up and look to push. And that's what FPX are doing. They're doing that down through middle. And so completely bypassing FNATIC, almost swapping sides in a way as they look to make their way to B site. They've avoided the Empress and actually return one of their own. A paranoia through as well. Blinded, up, deafened up, and Alphayer even revealed up by the looks of it. They're in some trouble. What are you doing, Boaster? He's gone all the way into spawn, and Angel was none the wiser.
Another high impact frag. They use the Nightfall on the attack side. It gets no one. Almost their whole team were connected on, and still they've managed to come out on top. Enzo sat back, and oh, he'll get there with a labored spray in the end. Even looks to try and get the information for the rest of his team. And on the other side of FPX, it might just have to be a save. A 2 versus 5 pushing into this site doesn't look like it's going to give any level of reward, but they're still trying to fight this one. Maybe wanting to hold some of the players in towards the site. Maybe deny them from getting an operator. Instead, they'll get 1 kill and fall.
11-11. We hope for a close game, and I'm very happy we're getting it. Economy, though, Tom, it's on the line for FPX. They're putting everything into this round. Their economy, in terms of ults, is not looking good. There's not really a safety net for them here. And this is all their credits into the round. A loss here probably gives an overtime because they've won the pistol rounds. But, you know, conventionally, a loss here is devastating.
Well, it seems like we might be about to have the same setup again in towards B main. It's been a point of contention thus far, but most is going to have to fall off. Angel's already gone down. That was at the back of mid. I think that was just a pre-fire spray from Alphayer, and well, almost too easy to open things up. A chance to make their way to map point, but well, let's be honest, with everything that's happened so far, that first blood hasn't meant too much.
FNATIC are wisely slowing it down. Waiting for some extra information to be given away. And, well, there is a rotation from FBX to stack up on B. The gamble being made. Prowlers have gone through. They've revealed nothing. And then the rotation goes back. Right back to the A site when they realize no one's waiting out there. I do like that they started the rotation early before putting the Prowlers through. Because, like, as soon as the Prowler spots them, if there's, like, 4 in main, they're going to blitz you, right? Like, more than likely, that's when they up the pace. So having the rotation halfway already, it helps them out a ton. And now they've rotated the other way, just as B is being hit.
Boast is faking it out.
Yep.
He's just run all the steps through, smoked it off. There's only going to be one man here to really defend it.
Oh.
It is the spray down, but it's only one. Enzo counters his counterpart. Actually, they're going to go pushing through this. They made a little bit of ground that they might not have necessarily expected. Alpha, though, is already going to do so much damage. His third kill, leaving just one man left. And wow, there's no escape here for Ardis. 4 kills for Alpha. A slightly quieter game he's had thus far, but getting onto the server exactly when they need him most. Map, series point, and more importantly for FNATIC, they might be booking their tickets to Copenhagen.
Well, we knew right from the start that Alpha Air wasn't a player to be messed with, but he certainly had a quieter beginning.
Yeah.
That has not carried through. Starting to warm up a little bit towards the end, and as we said, that round there breaks the economy of FPX. They are left with Sugetsu playing in here on a Sheriff, and the same thing for Angel. Tom, this could be the end of FPX's upper bracket run at least, and as you said, FNATIC getting themselves that spot locked in for Copenhagen, another international event under their belt, this time with a bit more preparation.
Good start as well. The aggression of Boast to punish, but there's a trade. And actually, the remaining players of FPX are actually going to opt to fall back. Now, Durka has consistently been pressuring into B main, so the smoke off is not anything too surprising. It's whether they can actually retrieve some of the weaponry. Because that gun down on short would be something they'd love to get back.
Yeah, I mean, because that weapon is there, they start making their way towards this A site. Angel wants to retrieve it, and well, now, Tom, all of those weapons are on the A site. You've got Sugetsu. We've seen him alone before, having to hold B, but this time, the man's only got a Sheriff. I mean, he is being put under quite a bit of pressure, I think it's fair to say. Paranoid on the back site, now being pushed on. Players are dropping all over the site. With this Sheriff, he is going to have to be pinpoint. He got Mystic.
Okay.
Fair play, good kill, and that's kept the numbers into a 3v3. The retake is still possible, and Enzo's about to give him... Are they going to pre-fire him? Xiao seemed almost ready to. The flank is going to catch him either way.
Yeah, they were basically throwing utility just to try and move him backwards. Boaster and Durka. Aggressive peek from Durka is going to get absolutely nothing. He has the info of where they are. First kill connected. Second as well. Looks at the spin around, but he's run out of bullets. It will be heading to OT. And FPX, well, they cling to life once again. It's the IGL of Angel that make this 12 and 12.
One enemy
If
remaining.
Zipan didn't have the ult there, I almost think... Who knows? Yeah, with the way things have been going, it really is anyone's game. We've seen these incredible eco rounds. We've seen thrifties non-stop all game long, it feels like. It's because of some players like Durka. But this round, he will have nothing to say. First death already on the board for FNATIC. And they start to move to this A site, but I think they're going to be a little bit
they got rid of
late.
his util. That's the thing. This is what has been so hard to get past when pushing in towards this A site was all the util that Mystic was throwing down on that defensive half. Now Boaster under real pressure, just about going to escape the backlines. And, well, not for long. This execution has been superb by FPX. They've adapted, and Xiao has shown up to the party once again. Last man standing, Alpha. He got a 4K just rounds ago. He needs 5.
That's a big ask. That is for damn sure. And I think we're going to call this one done already. See what little he can get for the frag movie. Good start.
He's hit with like every debuff in the
Mark
game.
Decay suppressed. I don't think this guy's in much of a good spot. Well, now he's been taken down completely. I like on the execute out there, by the way, we saw the season have the pressure mounted on their shoulders. Be taken into that third map and removing the advantage they've worked so hard to earn. Artists already putting up some big kills with Durka down. They have lost one of their stronger performers in these early ranged fights. FNATIC are going to have to find another solution. And right now, I'm a little bit afraid. Enzo's on the other side of the map with the spike. As timing-wise, this is going to be a strange round for Fnatic if they try to pick up the pace now, and if they stall it out, they're in danger of losing a lot more control.
Boaster again is going to TP out of the seas. They are looking to make their space in towards this site. Xiao, again, though, stepping up. Boaster has managed to trade one back, but even still, Alpha is isolated within the site. His teammates looking to try and wrap back around. He spotted out Angel, the spam, not really doing anything. Still, the IGL will sit at the back and take another frag for FPX. It looks like we might be heading into that third and final map. Fracture on the cards as FPX will win in OT.
Well, we get to see these